Money isn't math, it's psychology, and that's why most people get it wrong. I know this because I grew up in a blue-collared household. My parents worked incredibly hard, overtime shifts, weekends, whatever it took. But no matter how hard they worked, we always seemed to be one step behind. Bills piled up on the kitchen table, cars broke down, emergencies set us back. And I remember thinking as a kid, if hard work is all it takes, why isn't this working for us? That's why Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, hit me so hard. It finally put into words something I had felt my whole life. Financial success has less to do with intelligence or effort and more to do with behavior and mindset. Housel tells the story of Ronald Reed, a janitor who never made a big salary, lived simply, and drove an old car. But he constantly saved and invested over decades, and when he died, he left behind $8 million. $8 million. Not because he was some stock-picking genius, because he was patient and consistent. Now compare that to countless lottery winners and celebrities who made millions overnight only to end up bankrupt. The difference isn't intelligence, it isn't luck, it's behavior. One had patience and discipline, the others couldn't control risk and spending. Here are the 3 lessons that stood out most to me. And honestly, they're lessons I want my kids to absorb as early as possible. Wealth is what you don't see. When you pass by someone with a flashy car or a big house, what you're really seeing is spending, not wealth. True wealth is in the money left in the bank account, the investments that are quietly compounding in the background. The vacation skipped, the upgrades delayed, the self-control no one ever claps for. My parents worked incredibly hard, but they didn't have the space or education to think this way. They thought wealth was more about earning more. What I've learned is that it's actually about keeping more. Give it time. And that means you have to stay in the game. Most people underestimate how powerful time is when it comes to building wealth. It's boring in the short term, but magical in the long term. If you invest a few $100s and it grows at 10% a year, in the first few years, it feels like nothing is happening. But 20 or 30 years later, the numbers look almost unreal. That's why the biggest risk isn't market volatility. It's getting scared, pulling your money out, and breaking the chain of compounding. Money is personal. There's no single right answer to what you should do with your money. Some people want to retire early. Some people want to build generational wealth. Some people just want security and peace of mind. That's why comparing yourself to others is dangerous. My parents chased stability and survival, and that made sense for them. Today, I think about freedom. Freedom to spend time with my kids, freedom to choose work I enjoy, freedom not to stress about the next bill. And that's why every family's financial path will look different. So here's the truth. Getting rich is one skill, staying rich is another. And they both require humility, patience, and perspective. If my parents taught me anything, it's that hard work alone isn't enough. You need to combine effort with smart behavior. That is the psychology of money. And now, as a parent myself, this is the lesson I want to pass down. I don't just tell my kids about saving and investing. I try to show them. When they sell old toys or save coins in a jar, I explain how money grows when you give it time. Because at the end of the day, your kids won't copy what you say about money. They'll copy what you do with money. So if you're watching this and thinking about your own family, I'll leave you with this. The math matters, but the mindset matters more. Learn the psychology, and you'll change not just your financial future, but your kids' future too. Follow along if you want to change the way your family thinks about wealth, because the books I'm sharing here aren't just theory. They're the blueprint I'm using in real life.